So, Nuno, I think we can start for now.
Yes.
And I will accepting the people, okay?
Okay, thank you, Patricia. Okay, so welcome to everyone. This is the second networking event. Today, the theme is narrating climate change through art, and we have two very special persons to talk about climate change. And I will present our first one, which is Ana Malaya. Just a moment. And Ana Malaya Mbize is a Tanzanian and Pan-African poet, Fulbright scholar, and a social transformer. She holds a BA in Political Science and Language and an MA in Development Management from the University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. Additionally, she has a social work certificate from the Bennett College and a community health certificate from the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health in the USA. She has attended labor courses offered by the ILO, Global Labor University, and UTUC Africa. Anna is currently pursuing her PhD at Tangaza, Kenya, with a specialization in climate governance and the changing world of work. Anna's mission is to empower African children through literature, fostering storytelling as a means of cultural understanding and growth. And their free mobile library emphasizes the importance of reading and writing for everyone, promoting a network of young global citizens. She believes that every individual has a story to share, one that is worth saving for humanity. Anna believes that adhering to the principles of the Ubuntu is the best solution to address the crisis facing humanity, and including the climate crisis. So Anna, the floor is yours. You can start. You have to open the microphone, sir.
Thank you so much, guys, for inviting me and for having us in this very important space on narrating climate change stories. I will quickly have to share my presentation, which is just a brief presentation. Let me just go quickly to it. Let me just share my screen. I hope you're seeing my screen now.
Yes, we can see it. You can.
So thank you so much. I am a poet. So my presentation is titled Verses for the Planet Earth, Poetry as a Voice for Social Justice. I was really very happy when I saw the email that requested me if I could be part of this engagement. And therefore, as a poet and as a person who has been doing a lot of work around climate change and also around knowledge creation, knowledge management in general, I was very happy because I thought I was going to meet the right people and I was also going to learn a lot. So my presentation is divided into various themes. I'll talk about climate situation briefly. I'll talk about the power of art in climate change narratives. I'll talk about forms of arts, and also I'll give some examples in the works that I have done around the area. So everyone could attest to this, that climate change is real, and it is impacting everyone everyone on this planet Earth at varying rates and times. In January this year, Tanzania experienced heavy rains where some families lost their loved ones, some homes were destroyed, some roads were impassable, and some areas, some school children and workers were forced to stay at home at least one day or two because of the effect of rains. In the same year, you could also remember that deadly storms left Dubai underwater. So if we fail to take decisive action against climate change, we will face increasingly severe consequences. There is no doubt about that, because we've already been experiencing a lot of consequences. And these from rising temperatures to more extreme weather events. And therefore, art can play a crucial role in this fight by serving as a powerful medium to raise awareness, inspire collective actions, and challenge inaction, for example. And when I talk about art, I talk about anything creative. We will move from visual arts, paintings, photograph, murals, digital art. You look at also installations, environmental installations. You look at pottery, weaving, textile arts. You look at indigenous art forms like posters, infographics, and also you look at literature, for example, poetry, novels, short stories. All these can bring out narratives that talks about climate change, effects of climate change, creates awareness, and also mobilize collective action. So you could see that art is very powerful in addressing or in supporting policy change, and especially when it comes to climate action. Why do I say art is very important? Is that it helps us, for example, when you interact with scientific reports, it gives us access because we are in different levels of understanding about climate change. So when you use art, you are able to access and to be inclusive, because so many people will understand. Because, for example, if you're talking about climate change and you're talking about the rise of temperature, maybe you're talking about what used to happen those years and what is happening now, and maybe you're talking with a certain group of people, like you're talking with children, there's no way you are going to give them those statistics and then they get to a certain level of understanding. But if we draw just a mere picture, if, for example, it is a short song, there are things that could, like art will enable that level of accessibility and also create a sense of urgency, because there are some of the photos, for example, some of photographs, some of arts that will indeed shock you, at the same time make you think about how do you relate with the environment, what are your footprints when it comes to climate change. So art is very important, but I would say in the end, how art can be even more important. Here, I have a few artworks that narrates climate change. As you could see, for example, the one says, instead of making April Fool on the 1st April, plant at least one tree and make April cool. You see, this is just very simple message, but it has a very strong message. Like, there are things that we should focus on based on the urgency, especially based on the fact that climate change is really, and it is already affecting us massively. And you can see this, the father and the daughter drowning. This is because of climate change. And this is the work of art. Somebody sat down, imagined, not only imagined, maybe saw the real situation and tried to put it in form of a painting, in a form of a picture. So you can imagine looking at this, the picture that comes to your mind, and the questions you ask yourself on how or what kind of actions should you take as individuals, as citizens, as also global citizens. And also you look at the second round of pictures, you see the animals dying. You see this young girl, young woman struggling with getting water because of because there is no rains, and you see the way the plants are suffocating. So looking at these pictures alone tells you that something is wrong. Something is wrong to Mama Nature, and something has to be done. So you can see how powerful art can be used to communicate, to create awareness, and also to mobilize efforts. So as I just told you, I've been doing poetry. I have been creating awareness in various ways, with various groups. I work with children, I work with schools, and this is one of my works that I'm just going to take you through for you to see what I've been doing. It is in Kiswahili, but you will see some of there are things that you will understand.
I'm sorry, Anna, we are not seeing the video.
You can't see the video?
No, you have to go to the share.
Can you see it?
No, we can only hear it. But if you go to the share, click there, you will have you can share the YouTube directly because you are sharing only the PowerPoint.
Okay, sorry. So
It's okay.
Let me just sorry.
Or if you share screen in general, it will share anything you have on the screen. That might work.
Let me see. Okay. I'm trying to share. Let me copy this so that you show it. Can I just paste it on the chat box?
Yes, but if you click on share and you go to share entire screen,
yeah, okay.
That should work.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Just now, yeah, perfect.
Habarini za mchana. Nafurahi kuwa pamoja nanyi na katika hii siku ambayo ni adhimu, siku muhimu sana kwa washairi na kwa watu wote wenye mapenzi mema na nchi yetu na dunia kwa ujumla. Ninaitwa Anna Mbise, ni mshairi lakini pia ni mhamasishaji wa usomaji wa vitabu vya Kiswahili, vya Kiingereza, vya maarifa ya namna mbalimbali. Lakini leo nimefurahi sana kuwasomea shairi langu ambalo linahusu mabadiliko ya tabia ya nchi na hali halisi ya mazingira kwa sasa. Ningependa tu msikilize, mimi nitasoma shairi langu alafu kama kutakuwa na maswali tutaongea baadaye hapo. Kumbe ni tabia ya nchi ndiyo imeharibika, ndiyo imefanya nchi isiweze tamanika. Matendo ya wananchi yanaleta patashika. Mama mzazi alia, mazingira si salama. Majanga kwetu lukuki, nyingi mvua tumeona, ya hana taharuki. Mafuriko kila kona, jangwani hapapitiki. Pemba maji kujazana, mlima Kilimanjaro barafu inayoyoma, mazingira safi tuzo. Asanteni sana kwa usikivu wenu.
So
I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you for that introduction. Tonight, this evening, I'd like to call your attention to attention.
That must be another video going, no?
Story. It's about a classic.
It's okay, just.
Sorry, I was wondering. Sorry, so let me go ahead and just go to the last part of my presentation. So I hope you're hearing me right and seeing my
Yes, everything is working.
screen. So I'm gonna read one of my last. I'm gonna share one of my last work. Sorry. So, okay. I hope you're seeing it, right?
Mm-hmm. Not yet the poem. It's opening.
Are you able to see it?
We see the file, but it's not open yet.
Could you, Patricia, could you share the Word document? Sorry.
Just a moment, please, and I will share it.
If you want, I can share it, Patricia.
It's opening.
It's opening? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I will share the screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
if you want,
yeah,
I can go.
So once more, I would like to invite you to listen to my poem. It is called Toxic Love. I prepared it for this event. And I will recite it as follows. How selfish can we be? How foolish, how blind, how ungrateful, how unkind, how short-sighted can we be? Mama's sacred wellspring, a fontaine that nurtures. She cares for the careless beyond all measures. Wow! Has arrogance surpassed love? Indeed, it seems. Hearts grow sharp as thorns, many hating light for darkness. As a result, we pour tons of toxic love on Mama, setting up fires, roasting ourselves, marinating future generations, fauna and flora lives we claim, in destructive dances we team. Mad, are we? Keep sitting on the fire benches, waiting for the bus, knowing there are no miracles. How about coming back to our senses? What legacy could we cultivate for humanity? Thank you. That is the end of the poem. I just want to go back and do the last slide. So thank you so much. And I would say, even though numerous mechanisms and tools have been implemented to tackle this urgent crisis of climate change, we have excelled in uniting to destroy the Mama Earth. And sadly, I would say we struggle to build the power we need to mend the damage. And I would say that art is a powerful tool for uniting people to create and implementing effective climate change solutions. But we need passionate hearts dedicated to building a brighter future. And I know we both possess those kind of hearts. And therefore, let's join efforts and use all possible strategies and tools to fight for a safe planet for all of us. And thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anna, for your communication and for your poetry. You certainly left us a lot to think and reflect about. So again, thank you. And now I would like to present Andrea Conte, which uses the artistic name of Andreco. He will be talking about art and political ecology. And Andrea Conte is the director of Andreco Studio. He works between art, science, and social and environmental themes. He's a visual artist and also an environmental engineer with a PhD specialist. A PhD specialist in sustainable resources management in different climate conditions. He also did a postdoc research in non-green technologies and nature-based solutions for urban sustainability, collaborating with the Social School of Engineering and Architecture of the University of Bologna and the Columbia University of New York City. His artistic research is focused on the relation between humans and nature and between the built environment and the natural landscape. Since 2000, Andrea Conte is researching between science, environmental sustainability, activism, urbanism, anthropology, ecology, philosophy, and symbolism. On the basis of these transdisciplinary researches, he creates his conceptual and visual language. Climate Art Project is one of his main projects about climate actions. He uses many techniques to represent his art, from public installations to videos, performance, or wall paintings and drawings. Andrea Conte worked for several international festivals, museums, and galleries. He also won the special prize of the Talent Prize 2017 at Macro Museum of Contemporary Art of Rome. In 2016, the International Prize for Rural Regeneration, Jazzy. He was selected artist for the Grand Tour d'Italie of the Ministry of Culture, MIBEC, in 2019. And he was selected for the Italian Oscar Prize for the Environmental Communication of 2019 related to climate change. So, Andrea, welcome. Thank you very much. You have a very extensive curriculum, and we are eager to hear you.
Thank you. Thank you for the long introduction. Thank you for having me and for the invitation. I will also share the screen, and I have a long presentation, and I will jump here and there just to on the slides that I find more interesting for this conversation. And can you see my slide?
Yeah, we can see.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay. And also thank you to Anna for the previous session, and she introduced the role of art. So I can also jump that part. So, like, speaking about climate change is real. We said everybody know that climate change is real, no doubt. But there is a lack of emergency. So there is an emergency, but as Santiago Zabala, the philosopher, said, the greatest emergency is the absence of emergency. Because the things are changing. We know about the problem of climate change and global warming, but we are acting too slow. We are too slow in this change, in this environmental transition. And so the role of culture and art is a key, because we need a cultural change and not only a technological change. So how do you convey a complexity as the ecosystem change and an urgency at the same time, so without simplifying too much? This is one question that when you are doing art and climate change, you have in mind, because global warming are these enormous things that we see on our face only where there are environmental disaster or climate disaster, but are difficult to visualize. And so art can help to visualize the problem and the emergency, and from one side. And from the other side, art can help also to envision possible futures. That is, for me now, is the most important part. Not only speaking about the problem, but also try to envision other scenario. And so the creativity, the imagination of art and the method of art helps to envision other ways, other scenarios that put us in a different path from what we did in the past. Especially speaking on Western culture, capitalist culture, which divided mostly nature and culture. Probably there is some microphone on because I heard some voice.
Yes, I would ask everyone to close their microphones so we can hear Andre.
So this is the theoretic introduction. So Western culture divide nature and culture. This is one of the main issues, that we objectize the natural resources as something to exploit. And so this is the base of extractivism, colonialism, anthropocentrism. So this is the approach that generates most of our problem related to climate change and the cultural problem that we have to work as an artist with new imaginary for this ecological turn that again cannot be only technical but also political, social, philosophical, cultural, and why not artistic turn. So I really believe that the key things is research and innovation. And this is an artwork that I did during the pandemia for the Museum of Contemporary Art of Prato. They asked me to do a flag because the museum was shut down because of the lockdown. And on the flag I wrote ecocentrism and mutual aid. And this is a circle of rock. And in the middle there are these two concepts that are to move the anthropocentric perspective to ecocentric perspective and to improve mutual aid, generate commons. So these are the key concepts for that through my art and most of the artists that work on art and radical ecology are a key theme for these topics. If mutual aid is a very old concept in many cultures, the implementation that, thanks to the philosopher of the last century, are more like to create a connection also between interspecies connections, not only in the same species, between humans, but also with animals and non-humans, plants, and why not, like all the non-human beings or an entity. This is I always speak about the scala naturae, that is the old philosophical concept of the anthropocentrism that put the human being, in this case the man and not the woman, at the top of the pyramid of the scale. So we have to turn upside down this concept of this hierarchy, let's say, and to speak in a more like circular way. This is conceptually what I'm trying to do with my art since 25 years. And this is why, as a provocation, I represent the most, like the less considered things. So this is a conceptual operation but is a statement, like to represent you see, like the things that are at the bottom of the stairs, like the rock or the rivers or the plants, the less considered things, just to give value and to try to rebalance this pyramid, this hierarchy that we should completely change. Okay, so this is in terms of representation. But I want to speak more about what to do from a multidisciplinary perspective. So I think it's very important to focus at the complexity of the climate change and global warming events as something that we have to face from a multidisciplinary point of view. So this is why I think it's important to connect science, philosophy, future studies, civil society, activism, and art, and to try to make projects as much as possible multidisciplinary. Okay, this is all data connected to climate change. I suggest for this talk, like this map, that how much like Africa and the Middle East and India are the continent more affected from desertification. So this is a data, but very interesting and kind of site-specific that we should focus for this talk. And so with Planetar Project, what we do, we build networks. This is also why I'm here today, because it's very important to build network, to not speak alone, but to try to build bridges with different disciplines and different stakeholders that are in this in this moment acting for climate justice. And and the multidisciplinary network, of course, so center of research, institution, cultural operator, NGOs, activists, and so on, to build projects that are multidisciplinary and that advise, create advocacy on climate change, but also envision through art possible solution that for me are always like nature-based. So I'm interested in this part of science that study the ecosystem, try to just mimic the ecosystem itself. Don't use like artificial solution, but try to use the solution that driven or inspired by the ecosystem. So sometimes are the data, the work, the artworks are data visualization. So from a scientific study, represent works of art that are data driven, they say. So this is like is a wall painting that show the future scenario of sea level rise on the base of different studies, one from IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change, and other studies from Professor Ramsdorff, that studied the melting of the ice. And so basically here in Venice, that is one of the city most affected symbol for sea level rise, because most of the studies say that Venice has many islands and other cities will disappear in 2100, let's say. There will be 1 meter average of sea level rise. And so here in Venice, I decided to represent the future scenario of sea level rise and the extreme wave events. So the wall painting is the first ever authorized in the Grand Canal in Venice. It's at the train station and is 100 meter long and show the future scenario of the effect of climate change related to the sea. But here in Venice, there are also, there was from 2017 until last year a sculpture with a small garden of plants of the lagoon, that are the plants that since forever protect Venice from the sea. So in this case, it's a good example of climate art project, how we work. And after the last part, the dissemination part with student and so on. So how we work, we just face the problem like with this data visualization, and we show the problem, and after we also try to address some possible scenario for the solution. In this case, the preserving the lagoon is a key things for preserve Venice from the sea and the sea level rise. And after the all is this like didactic part, like dissemination part that happens. So this is just one project that we did in 2017. The project started in 2015 in Paris during the Paris Agreement for the COP 21, the Conference of United Nations for Climate Change. And after, this is a project that is itinerant. So, for example, in Puglia, south of Italy, that we are also very affected of desertification, as Africa. I did a project related to desertification, and the dissemination was a TED talk in that case. In India, we spoke about air quality in Delhi, because it was named as the most polluted city for air quality in the world. I'm doing also here data visualization, wall painting, and a performance with the community. In Portugal, in Porto, many years ago, we did one about wildfire. This was a performance for the city Villa Nova de Gaia in Porto. And in Rome, for example, we tried to work for 6 years actually on rivers and riverside park. This is more like artwork in the on the part of trying to draw, to understand the ecosystem, and try to also promote different solution. So the first part, there is a lot of citizen science. So what is citizen science? One, the citizen become a scientist for one day, also the kids. So we'll teach how to sample the water quality of a river, also using the plants as a bioindicator, and using this data, just to understand which are the pollutants, how a river ecosystem works. We also did the monitoring of the plants by the riverside, and we start to understand which are the most pollutant. And from that data, we realized some sculpture, for example, that are also data visualization focus on some pollutant that we found in the 2 rivers that we monitored in this 6 years of activity. Also, we did wall painting of this data about the rivers and exhibition that speak more about how to treat this pollutant in the water and in the soil using the plant. So this is an exhibition that we made in collaboration with the National Center Congress of Research, that they study, the biologists, that they study the property of plant of treat pollutant. And we also, with some activists of Extinction Rebellion, we did the performance. There was a legal action with the same plant that they used for the installation, that really, at the end, we use it for a plantation. There was also an experiment to see how this plant treat pollutant from the soil, especially metals. And we also published this data and all these activities in a scientific paper. This is another output. Is also important for the Climate Art project. What we're doing, like to try to put all together this multidisciplinary activity and publish it in a scientific paper. And I was I really agree with Anna when she said that the 1st of April you should plant a tree, because we also, actually was April was for the Day of the Earth. We decided to plant tree on the riverside in this Aula Verde. Aula Verde is one of the latest projects we are doing, is installation of trees, also called tree room, and it's made collectively with the citizen. So it's a circle of trees that leave a space in the middle, just for meeting, and we do it with a little performance. This is some picture of the day of the plantation. The first Aula Verde there was for the Earth Day, also in April, and so this format is put together like climate action, land art, or art in the nature, and nature-based solution, which is the scientific field of research that I follow as a researcher. And so basically is a way to do art in a positive way, in a way to do like kind of action and proposal, and not only to speak about the problem, also propose some change. And this was published in a paper also from the Nature Portfolio Scientific Report. You can find it. So I think I don't have much time, maybe 5 minutes, but I want to close with a very key point. To stay with the people as an artist, to stay with the people that are in the front line in this change in this global movement that is made from activists, so climate activists, but also policymakers, institutions that want to act for this change. So as an artist, I think it's very important to be involved in the climate justice campaign, be involved in the climate action activity, to stay on the ground, stay in this activity. So as artist, for example, I work for museum, for festival, but I also do like some piece of art for the demonstration, for example, or for the climate movement. This is one in Rome for that it's an action for protect a green space of a lake that is a very important natural reserve, natural place in Rome. And this is just one. But this other example of Aula Verde. I want to really close with this topic. So to build a network with the scientists, civil society, and be also with the activists, and avoid to do greenwash. So I think the the big risk, what I'm concerned is to do art that is not connected with the change, but just a facade of ecological art. And this is a risk because the art becomes something that is part of the problem. It's not part of the solution. So it's very important to build this network, to speak with the people, and to get involved in the change as an artist, and at the same time to do our job to create imaginary, create piece of art, trying to contribute a little bit in the change. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to share also some books. This is Art for Radical Ecology. I wrote a chapter and is exactly about this, about to art without so these things about greenwash and to be connected with the movement. This is the paper that I show you that is also open published. You can find this on nature.com. Just writing Aulerdi or my name and you can find it, and you can download it for free. It's open. This is another one, Antenne, another magazine from Chicago. And it's also free to download, and there is a long interview with a lot of the things that I show very briefly in this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrea. It is clear that we could spend some 2 hours listening to you and the materials you have gathered.
Amazing.
Now I would like to open the session.
I will stop recording and we can start.